Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Today, I thought it would be a fun day to just, hang out, do what we do. And as I'm pulling up my chat, let me remind you that my name's Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So I have some exciting news. While I'm waiting for this thing to pop up, it's going a little slow. I hope you guys can see me. Maybe I should wait. Uh, I have some exciting news, and I'm not telling everybody yet. So just you guys are going to hear this because, as you know, I take these streams to unlisted after the fact. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Carlita. Good morning, Rena Domingo. How are you guys? Welcome, welcome. Happy to have y'all. Jeff Parks, Carlita, and Rena. So here's the deal. Hello, Miss Jillian. Hello, Malta. Malta says, welcome to Morning Coffee with Angie Atkinson, and offers advice for those who can't see or hear the stream yet. Good morning, Bonnie. Good morning, Renee. Renee Goodall. Goodell. Good morning, Life's Revival. Welcome. Jillian says she is driving into court, so she won't be able to comment. Everybody have a wonderful day and stay strong, she says. Good morning, Hair Changes Color. Good morning, Misty Trinkle. How are you guys? And we have Nicole Rogers in the house. Hello, hello, Nicole Rogers. And Muffy Lewandowski says, happy and blessed Friday to Angie, Malta, and the family. So thankful for everyone here. Back at you and ditto. Odin Performance is in the house. Hey, haven't seen you in a couple days. How you doing? Says namaste, Angie and the tribe. Travis Durham is here today. Good morning, Travis. How are you? And welcome. And Carlita says, hello, Jillian. I'll try to call you today. Rose Hargrove says, good morning. Alyssa Blackburn. Hey, Alyssa, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a little while. Let's see, where'd she go? Alyssa Blackburn. I feel like I just lost her spot. Oh, well, I saw her a minute ago. Oh, here we go. I found it. Hello. Okay. She says, good morning, Angie. I found a therapist whose special is in NPD. She told me even without meeting him, more than likely that's exactly what he is. Okay. Good news. I'm so glad that you found someone that knows how to help you with this. Melissa Ali is in the house. Good morning, Melissa. Malta says, good morning, Angie, Jillian, Bonnie, Hair Changes Color, Muffy, and everyone else. SD is back. Good morning, Miss SD. How are you, honey? Cindy Minton is here. Hey, Cindy, how are you? We haven't seen you in a little while. She said, good morning, checking in. It's been a while. Yep. Welcome. Glad to have you back, honey. Bonnie is in the house. She says, it's so great to see you and you, my friend. And Mr. Brian Garner is here. Happy Friday, says his beautiful face. Renee Goodall says, wishing you well in court, Jillian. Jillian is an attorney, so I wish her well too, and I hope she wins every case. Bonnie says, hello, Spanily. Tina Martin is here. She says, no one has seen me for days. How you doing, Tina Martin? You feeling okay? Welcome, welcome. Jeff Parks says, so after talking with you guys the other day, I went home and I tried to talk to her about her being a narcissist, and you guys were right. Third time now, she took our kids and bailed, but she beat me up. Oh my gosh, Jeff, I'm so sorry. Did you call the police? Scott Johnson is in the house. He says, good morning, Angie. How's your cat today? He is doing well. He's hanging out with his sister, Sophie, my daughter. You know, cats are like people over here. Love is here. Hello, Love. Says, good morning, Angie and all. Hurting really bad from no contact and giving into a call with a narc last night. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Tell us about it. Tell us what happened. Hair Changes Color says, hey, Malta. And Jenny M is here. She's new. Good morning, Jenny M. Welcome, welcome. Angie L says, hey, Angie L, how you been? She says, good morning, Angie and Tribe. Missed you all. Well, we missed you too, girl. How you doing? Glad to have you back. MMH is in the house and says, good morning, y'all. Good morning, MMH. So happy to see you back again today. Where was I? I lost my spot. All right, here we go. Jihan is here again, and hello, Jihan. Welcome back. She says, I wish I could stop feeling the narcissist around me. I wish I could stop feeling the fear of his abuse and his disapproval. It's like I'm subconsciously trying to please him, even when he ain't there. Oh, I feel you. That is really the truth. And you know what? I did a video yesterday that kind of talked about that a little bit, Jihan. Did you see it? It's a process, you know, and you have to literally like push them out of your head and start to replace their opinions with your own. It's a process. Yeah. Tina Martin says, good morning. I've been going through hell, but good morning. Good morning, Tina. And I understand. I think a lot of us can really understand where you're at, honey. Sonia Kruzinski is in the house. Good morning, Sonia. She says, good morning, lovely ladies. And I'll add on for her and gentlemen. We have a few gentlemen here today. Karen Russ French is in the house. Hello, Karen. How are you? She says, hello, I won't stay long. I kicked my narc out of my life on July 4th. He knows I watch Angie, so I don't want him to check on me. My kids and I are safe. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate you letting me know. Stay strong, my friend. It gets better. Phyllis G is in the house, and she says, good morning, everybody. Angie, good morning, everybody. I hope it's a good day for all. Ditto, Phyllis, and welcome back, honey. And Misty Trinkle says, Jeff, that's what's so hard. You can't even talk to them. Absolutely the truth. And, I got to say, it never helps to tell them they're a narcissist. You think maybe if they know, they'll stop, but no. No, they just get offended and then they look up narcissism and then they use things against you usually. Oh, I'm gaslighting you now, that kind of stuff. Renee Goodall says, Jeff, I'm so sorry to hear that. She beat you up physically. Amanda Jackson is here. Hey, Amanda, welcome back, honey. How are you? She says, hey, Angie and all. Nicole Rogers in the house. She says, it's Saturday. I'm here at 1 a.m. here. Big hugs. Oh, you must be are you in Australia or where are you? Edward Macri is here. Good morning, Edward. He says, I'm in third day of no contact after leaving my narc of 37 years. Wow. How are you feeling, Edward? I know that's got to be hard for you, but I hope you feel a little bit freer than you did 3 days ago. SD says, my narc husband has been out all night, still hasn't come home. I know he's trying to get a Tracy from me. Well, he's not going to get it feeling strong. Oh, I'm assuming you mean a reaction. Good for you. Stay strong. And, I don't know about you, but if my narc husband had been out all night, my narc husband could stay out. I mean, that's really disrespectful. But I know it's a lot easier said than done, isn't it? Sonia Krasinski says, and good morning, gentlemen. There we go. Jamie B says, happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday, Jamie B. How are you, honey? I hope you're feeling well today. And, oh, yeah, I get it now. Arise, autocorrect. I got you, SD. That made more sense. Living Kintsugi says, good morning. I thought yoga was silly and wouldn't work, but I just used it for the first time during a super stressful bout of chaos the narc caused, and it actually worked. That's amazing. She says, I'm calm, and it was awesome. Does anybody else in here do yoga? Let me know. I used to do it. I should do it again. It's really, really good for you and so healthy, and it feels amazing. SD has big hugs for Jamie B today. Malta says, happy Friday, everyone, and hello to Jamie B and SD. Jamie B says, SD, hey, girl, I've been missing you these last couple days. Are you good? You good? Mary Ann Chalupnicki says, hi, good morning from Auburn, New York. Hello, Mary Ann. How are you, honey? Welcome back. SD says to Malta, happy Friday. And Freedom Lee is here. Hey, Freedom Lee, how you doing, honey? She says, oh, wait, I just lost my spot. Where'd Freedom Lee go? Hold on, I'll find it. Almost there. Nope, almost there. Where did Freedom Lee go? All right, I hate when this happens. Oh, there, I got it. Okay. Freedom Lee says, good morning, Angie, beautiful survivors. So grateful you were here. And we're grateful for you too, Freedom Lee. Welcome back. And Jamie B says, Malta, how are you today, my friend? Alyssa Blackburn says, I haven't seen my narc for 2 weeks. I've been emotionally all over the place. He wasn't here for me when I needed him the most in my life struggles. No sympathy for what I'm going through. I see how he just brings me down. Alyssa, I know that is difficult and I know that it's painful, but I want to tell you something. This is what we go through. And yes, you're going to be all emotionally all over the place, but I want you to know that knowing that, remembering who he is and what is not, what he doesn't give you and what he did to you is going to help you to stay on track and move forward and hopefully eventually find someone who's actually worth your time and your love and your energy. Yeah, because you're a beautiful woman and you don't have to continue. I mean, it doesn't matter really how you look, but I mean, you are a beautiful woman and you have options in the world. And I think this is going to be so much better for you as you move forward. Jeff Parks says, yeah, I got an EPO against her, but she's 150 miles away. The video I took of her assaults are unreal. in front of my 4 and my 3-year-old. She's not welcome back ever. Jeff, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. See, you guys, this is an example right here of so often people get angry and they oh, how could you talk to men and women? And which is funny because when I first started talking about this stuff, I was only talking to women, and that wasn't anything negative. It was just that was who I was talking to, and I realized over time that a lot of men are going through this too. And Jeff here is an example of the fact that it's not just women who are abused. It's not just women who are physically abused. See, because probably he grew up in a way that he doesn't hit women, I'm guessing. And so he wasn't able to, strike her to prevent it. I mean, obviously he may have tried to hold her back or whatever, but in front of the children, that's insane. I mean, that's really the wrong thing to do. But Jeff, here's the good news. Since your kids are only 3 and 4 years old, you still have a chance to not allow them to be too damaged from this. I would consider putting them in some counseling, and I would do it soon. It may actually even help you in court if you do that. Obviously, you don't want someone who beats you up to be raising your children. I understand where you're coming from. SD says, Jamie, I'm doing well, just not able to be around because of the NARC schedule. Oh, I feel you. I feel you. Tina Martin says, I'm not okay, but better than that, I've been tied in with you all. But yeah, for the last few days, I've been commenting in the chat, and I thought no one could see me. Well, Tina, I didn't see you before, but maybe it was because it was after I'd already ended the chat. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry about that, honey, but I'm glad that you're here. Welcome back. Jamie B says, wow, Edward, I'm super proud of you. 37 years is a long time. Stay strong. Totally agree. Sarah Lee says, good morning, Angie and all. Hope everyone is well. It is it's a pleasure to be here and share your wisdom, Angie. Big love. Thank you. And you know what? We all have a little bit of wisdom, don't we? And I think it's so important. This is why this is so effective for us, because we come in here and we talk and we listen to each other. And I think it's just incredibly helpful to have support in any way that we can. Yeah, this is why I do this every day. Malta McMurtry says, I'm good, Jamie. How you doing? And Jamie says, I totally understand, SD. I'm glad you're here today. Tina Martin says, my NARC is a nightmare. It's book worthy. Oh, I feel you, honey. I feel you. Bonnie says, wait a minute. Bonnie says, I'm gray rocking, and it actually seems to be working out well. It just feels like I'm in the Matrix. I feel you. Been there. She says, yet I know trying to engage will only end up in narc rage and word salad. Yeah, it's overwhelming to do the gray rock thing for a long time, to long form it, because you feel like you're shoving all your emotions in. So Bonnie, even if obviously you're going to continue, you need to continue to gray rock with him. I'm glad that you're here with us, and I hope that you just tell us everything you need to tell us. I hope you're in span so that you can maybe, have people to talk to and vent to and let the things out, because it is very important. And if you have someone in your daily life that you can talk to, it would be helpful as well, but make sure you can trust them before you do, and that you won't be dealing with a flying monkey later. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, absolutely. It's hard, but worth it. It's worth it. Yeah. Travis Durham, hey Travis, says 2 questions. Is it normal or common for a covert narc to break up with you? Like if they realize they will never get what they want 100%. Also, do covert narcs call others narcs? Interesting. Narcissists in general will flip the switch and call you a narcissist if you demand your own, autonomy, or you demand that they respect you or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. And if the covert narcissist realizes that you will never give them what they want 100%, sure, they'll break up with you. Yeah, absolutely, they will. Yeah. And what I find interesting about this too is that, a lot of narcissists will call other people narcissists. And sometimes it's because they don't understand what a narcissist is. Like if you care about how you look, they'll be like, oh, you're a narcissist, especially a covert narcissist will do that. Because a covert narcissist sometimes doesn't care as much about how they look. But everybody on the planet has a little bit of narcissism in them, but that's the thing, that it's self-interest. It's what makes us get up and put clothes on in the morning and go to work and eat food and stuff like that. If we didn't have that, we'd all be a bunch of, balls of jelly or whatever. But it's the tipping point for me when it becomes a toxic situation for a person to have narcissism. The tipping point is empathy or lack thereof. Narcissists when they're toxic, they don't care how you feel, is what it comes down to. And as a result of that, they act on that. So they don't care how you feel, so therefore they will actively hurt you and without concern for your feelings. It's very shocking if you've never experienced it, because normal people don't act like that, you know? But yeah. Malta loves Sara Lee's hearts. They are colorful. I agree. I like them too. Bonnie says she's hoping truth will prevail. Always, Bonnie. I'm totally with you. Sara Lee says, thanks, Malta. And Guardian Wolf is in the house. Hey, Guardian Wolf. How you doing, honey? She says, good morning, Angie and Strong Survivors. Good morning. Good morning. Guardian Wolf. Jay Meeby says, I'm good, Malta. I've been having nightmares these last three nights, but when I wake up, I'm relieved to be free. Listen, I totally get that. I totally get that. I'm hating that you're having nightmares, but loving that you're waking up relieved to be free. It's a good sign. It is. Stop the Chaos says, I'm feeling so great for the first time in forever. I'm finally getting it. I didn't react this week. It's like watching a child throwing a tantrum on the floor until he wears himself out. You must be using the gray rock method. Yes, that is a very good thing. And see, this is the thing. It does work. It does. And sometimes you have to go beyond the point of your own comfort, because sometimes when you're doing the gray rock, the first thing that they will do is push harder, because they're like, you're not reacting? Wait a minute, maybe I'm not doing something right. They really want that reaction from you because that gives them supply. Your emotions supply them. You see what I mean? So yeah, right. Okay. I'm really glad, Stop the Chaos, that you have found a little bit of peace in this mess of chaos, as it were. Malta says, good morning to Guardian Wolf. And Amanda Jackson says, no contact with a narcissist, and he left a message saying to sign the life insurance policy when it arrives. I didn't respond. Don't respond and don't sign that thing. If you guys are legally married and he's trying to get you to sign off on it so you don't have to be the benefactor, don't do it. If you guys have kids together, this is an interesting fact, and I don't know if it's the same anymore, but if you do have children with him, you may be able to be the benefactor of his life insurance policy until they're 21 years old. My ex-husband, my lawyer, wrote this into the divorce papers, and the judge passed it. But I mean, I don't really expect it's going to happen. But my ex-husband, I'm supposed to be the benefactor on his life insurance policy until my son is 21. My oldest son, who will be 21 next year. I'm sure that's not being done, but if he would die before that, we could always go and fight for it. I wouldn't, because I'm sure whoever he's with probably needs it more than I do. But my son might after this, who knows? But my son will be he'll be 21 next year. So technically next year, my son should be the person on his life insurance policy for the rest of his life. But that is my point is, don't sign that paper without talking to a lawyer. I don't know if that's what state you're in or anything, but depending on where you live, you might actually be able to still be the benefactor on that. Not benefactor, benefitee, what's the word? I don't know. Whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. The person who gets the money. Rick Mash says, hello. It says, gentlemen are here too. Yeah, exactly. Good morning, Rick. How are you? Welcome back. I'm glad to see you, honey. Bonnie says, you are right. They don't get better when you tell them they're a narc. Very true. Absolutely. No, they don't. They don't like it. It's almost an insult to them. Some of them will actually embrace it until they realize what you're talking about. Jamie B. Malta says, I'm so glad to hear about the pleasant wake-ups. And Jamie B. says, good morning, Rick. And, morning sunshine. I love that. Guardian Wolf SD says, good morning to you. Jeff Park says, oh my God. Jeff Park says she actually threw a hammer at me like a tomahawk and tried to go full MMA on me. Oh my God. That could kill a person. Why would she? I'm so sorry that she did that in front of your children. That is awful. And I can't that she did it at all is awful. You could literally kill a person with a hammer like that. I mean, you really could if you hit him the right way. That's horrible. Jeff, I'm so sorry. Did you call the police? Please tell me you called the police. Please, please, please. Christy C is here. Hey, Christy C, how you doing? She says, hi, all. Happy Friday. Headed to court today. Need my Spanily vibes. All right, everybody. Let's send Christy some positive, strong, happy, winning vibes today. Okay? Happy, winning vibes to Miss Christy and strength. All right. Melissa Duncan says, hey, Angie, I'm going to get internet today so I can talk to y'all. Awesome. My wife, aka the Narc, is stalking my YouTube and Pinterest after I've blocked her, and I've made my stuff private. Any suggestions? Come up with a totally different username and email address. Change it all. And literally like a new identity online. Come up with a name she won't recognize, like make it random. You know what I mean? Something random that she couldn't possibly connect to you. And you know, for YouTube and Pinterest. I don't know if you have subscribers on YouTube, but if you don't, then you can very easily switch it up. I would literally get a whole new account, Melissa, and start over, because you know, and that can be symbolically this, you know, you starting over in life in certain ways too. So maybe come up with a name that that feels empowering to you. Just on a side note, but I think that would be your best bet. Make sure that you, if you guys had shared cell phone accounts, make sure that she's off of yours. Change all your passwords to different passwords, you know, that she couldn't recognize. That's where I would start. And then I would go from there. Let me know if you need additional help on that. And if anybody else has suggestions for Melissa on dealing with her wife stalking her YouTube and Pinterest after she's blocked her and made her stuff private, share them in the comments here, okay? Bonnie sends blessings over to Edward. She says, you're very brave. She's been with her narc for 31 years now. Guardian Wolf says, good morning. Amazing morning, SD. I love that. Melissa Ali says, in your video from yesterday, you talked about not helping them dig the hole. I didn't know I was doing it back then, but I helped. Started pointing out my own flaws to him. Yes, absolutely. And this is what's interesting, Melissa, is that I did the same thing. And it's not like we're intentionally trying to tear ourselves down, but we become so used to being torn down that we almost literally help them do it. And then of course our minds work against us because we become almost infected with their negativity, if that makes any sense. We start to see ourselves through their eyes. And that's something that we all need to work on, is seeing ourselves through clear eyes and realizing what we really do have to offer in the world. And it's a lot more than the narcissist would have us believe. And here's the worst part. They know that. They just want to tear us down so that we won't think we have anything worth having or wanting, you know, and this way we will think we can't do any better than them. You feel me? Yeah. Yep. Misty Trinkle says, Jeff, I'm so sorry. That is horrible. I totally agree. Awful. Tina Martin says, I told him he's a narc last night and I'm going to sell his stuff he has in my living room, seeing as he owes me a ton of money. He's always on dating sites. So now currently he's picked up a woman that is my, where is it? I'm trying to find it, Melissa. I mean, Tina. Wait. Tina. All right. We're going to get it. I lost it, Tina. I'm sorry. I think you have the right to sell his stuff if he owes you a lot of money. And I'll find out about who the woman is when I get to that part of the chat. Sonia Krasinski says, I have to remind myself many times a day he is incapable of change. Yeah, that's the thing. And it's really hard because the longer that you aren't with them, the harder it is, I think, to remember that they can't change. You know what I mean? Renee Goodall says, I love this group. I don't have the narc in my life anymore, but for 18 months I went through the love bomb idealization phase, then the put downs, the discard phase 5 or 6 times. He would then hoover back. Yeah, that's what they do. That's exactly right. And I'm glad that you're here, Renee. I'm glad that you're here. Edward Macri says, I never realized what was happening all the years. I was in total blind love forever. I'm so sorry that this has happened to you, Edward. I can't imagine how difficult it must be to be trying to change your life after 37 years, but I'm so proud of you for doing it. It's such a huge, strong step to take, and it will make the rest of your life so much better. It will. Jeff Park says, same here, Edward. Jeff, I feel so awful for what you're going through. I cannot even imagine. Brittany Shepard is in the house. Oh, Brittany Sherrod. Hello, Brittany. How are you? She says, Angie, I want to say thank you for your videos. They've helped me go no contact with my ex, and I hope to continue to watching them and learning how to overcome this struggle. Thank you so very much. My pleasure, Brittany, and thank you for being here today. It really means a lot to me. Barbara is back. Good morning, Miss Barbara. She says, I'm having a bad day today. Good morning, all. I'm having a bad day today. Been crying a lot. I miss him so much, and I wish I didn't. Nothing is helping me. I just want him to call or text me so we can talk about everything. Barbara, I get this feeling like he was more than just a romantic partner, but also probably a good friend. And I know that it's harder when you do have a friendship with that person. Um, I I feel like you're forgetting your value. I feel like you're forgetting why you didn't want to be with him in the first place. Um, Maybe what you could do, Barbara, is get out of the house today or tomorrow and go do something different than what you usually do. Meetup groups can be a really good thing. So maybe consider getting into a meetup group with maybe other people going through what you're going through, or maybe if you have a hobby or a passion, something, maybe you can go join a bowling meetup group or something, or join a, sewing or running or whatever you're into, something. Just get out of the house and do something different today. Maybe that'll help. Maybe you just need a little change of scene to help you get in a better state of mind. What do you think? Is that a possibility? Jamie B says, oh, good news. I just found out my new insurance covers behavioral health. So I found a therapist. Oh, this is great news. Who is female and specializes in domestic violence. And I have my first appointment Monday. I hope it helps. Oh, Jamie B, that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear it. Good for you. This is going to help. It will help. It will. Sarah Lee says, Jeff Parks, bugger that. That must be one of those British things. Are you British, Sarah Lee? I can't remember. Stop the Chaos says, after texting him all day after him texting me all day without a reaction or a response from me, he ended his rant with, I forgive you? Not even sure what I'm being forgiven for. I didn't say I was sorry for anything. Yeah, that's him trying to get your attention. That's him hoovering, trying to suck you back in. Don't fall for it. You're right to do what you're doing. I'm very proud of you. Cindy Minton says, I'm feeling much better, but stop the chaos. The only thing you could do differently is block him from texting you unless you need to leave him on because of the kids. Cindy Minton says, I'm feeling much better, but I'm still battling memories and places we went and things we did. How can I get that mess out of my mind? I think that's what I miss more than the ex. Okay. So one thing you can do is change your memories a little bit. So go, do those things without him, with other people, with kids or friends or whatever, and take back your places and take back your things that you did and do them a new way with new traditions. I like to say, around the holidays, I start reminding everybody in my family, hey, we're making new traditions now. And I'm talking about my family that lives here in my home, because unfortunately I'm not in contact with a lot of my other family members outside of my sister Piper, who's technically Bill's sister. And my son, of course, who lives with Piper now because he's a grown-up. Anyway, my point is that I'm talking about my 20-year-old. My point is that you have to choose to create new traditions for yourself, new traditions. You don't have to, and I know it's hard when you're dealing with the memories and the places you went and the things you did. But, like if he lived in your house, one of the things I suggest if you can't move is to redecorate the areas that trigger you the most. Okay. So I've talked before about how when I left my ex-narcissist, I bought this like $8 candle thing from a little candle holder. It's a mosaic candle holder from Pier 1. I still have it. It lives on my entryway table now. And it was my like freedom object. It reminded me that I was free and I didn't have to deal with that anymore. It was like my new, starting over thing, I guess. So that might be something you can do, buy a new bedspread, new curtains for the bedroom, get a cover for the couch. You can do a lot of things really cheap. If you go look around, if you're worried about money, you can buy things online cheaper, or you can go to a secondhand store and buy like a new chair to put in the living room or something. I mean, you can buy things really cheap. I can give you some advice on that if you're interested. Timothy Iser says, good morning and happy Friday. Good morning, Timothy. How are you, honey? Welcome back. Sonia Krasinski says, divorcing a narcissist husband of 30 years is not for sissies. Ain't that the truth? Yes. Malta says, good morning, Barbara. Jeff Park says to Sarah Lee, yes, she's out. Very good. Breon says, the imitation of a narc saying, oh, I'm gaslighting you, made me laugh and made my day, Angie. They're such dorks. They really are, right? Hold on. I have a little a little tickle. All right. Yeah, they totally are. Jamie B says, super happy for you. Stop the chaos. Absolutely. Yes. Hair changes color says to Edward Macri, that's exactly the definition of domestic violence. You don't even realize it's happening to you. It's true. She says it's hard to recognize when all the narcs do all the stuff behind closed doors. Yeah. It's incredibly pervasive. It's sneaky, and sometimes no one else in your life will be aware of it. A lot of times. Sometimes you're not even aware of it because you just are so used to it, and because it came on slowly. You know what I mean? Jeff Park says the first divorce date is in 6 days. Thank goodness for that. Stay strong, my friend. Everybody sends strength and energy to Jeff Parks, that he gets his children and that she doesn't, and that he gets what he needs for protection, because that's crazy. She sounds like she needs to be in prison. I mean, really, why would you throw a hammer at a person? That's like attempted murder, in my opinion. It really is. That's crazy. Scott Johnson says, I do, and I work at a yoga studio. Oh, how cool. So we're talking about when I asked the question about yoga. He says it's so amazing. It's very healthy for so many reasons. Oh, I totally believe that. Yeah, absolutely. SD says to Jamie B, that's great news. So glad you'll be able to see a therapist. Guardian Wolf says, I'm feeling happy and positive. I love it, Guardian Wolf. That's great news. Tina Martin says, my coworker's roommate. Oh, okay. So she's saying that now he's picked up a girl who's her coworker's roommate. She says, he came to my job and threw oil at my car. My coworker saw. I think I'm going to call his dad today, as he's estranged from him. I feel that exposure will really tear him up. Yeah, well, it might help. But I hope that you also called the police when he threw the oil at your car, because I'm pretty sure that's considered vandalism. As far as your coworker's roommate goes, I hope that your coworker fills her in, but you know that if you try to fill her in, it will not work. So don't bother, because she'll just think that you're the mad ex-girlfriend. But maybe your coworker, if your coworker saw the behavior and the drama that you went through, maybe your coworker could convince her roommate not to do that. Sue Kessler. Hey, Sue Kessler. How you doing, honey? She says, I made it finally. Well, welcome, my love. Sarah Lee says, Jeff Parks, I'm glad to hear that. Wise decision. Stay strong. Yes. Stop the Chaos says, the only thing I'm sorry about is putting up with his baloney for so long. I like the word baloney. She says, I deserve so much more, even if it's just by myself, and peaceful. Sing it, sister. I totally agree. Absolutely. Yes. And I want to say this again. The only thing she's sorry about is putting up with his baloney for so long. I love that. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it was cute. Right on. Okay. Malta says, good morning, Sue Kessler. Sue Kessler says, 45 days no contact, emotionally all over the place. I feel you, honey. You know what? And the thing about it is, you are going to be. Sue, did you pick up my 60-day no contact calendar at Queen Being? If you didn't, go get it. It's on the top. If you log in, just sign into queenbeing.com. You'll see it at the top. It'll say 60-day no contact calendar or no contact calendar, but it's a free download, no strings attached. Marianne Chalupnicki says, I just want to say, with God's help, we will all get past our pain. Sending blessings to everyone. We should all be happy with true love. I totally agree. And I think the first true love you have to have is true love for yourself. And until you can really master that, I think you should not get too serious with anybody else if you're dealing with a narcissist in a romantic sense. Shelly Thomas says, good morning, all. Good morning, Miss Shelly. How are you? Welcome back, honey. Renee Goodell says, he finally did the discard in June. I haven't heard from him since. I ignored his text on his question on working. I went through sadness, but I'm actually feeling good now. We were long distance. Yeah, and you know what's funny about the long distance people, a lot of times narcissists love long distance relationships because it's so easy to A, cheat on you, B, to be perfect from far away, and C, just to not have to deal with daily in-person stuff. It's really easy to be perfect online and far away. So, and when you're only seeing somebody for, you know, a couple days a month or a few days a month, certainly it makes a big difference. And yeah. Sue Kessler said she's going back and forth between feeling numb and sad, sad, numb, sad, numb. Yeah, it's common. It's common. Sue, 45 days, it might be time for you to consider starting to focus on yourself now. Okay, so the sadness and the numbness is normal. And it's not going to be easy, but maybe set an end date for this part. You know, so it's been 45 days, give yourself 15 more days, 60 days total. And at the end of the 60 days, and I think that might even be a little too much, but it depends on how long you guys were together. So at the end of the 60 days, decide on day 61 that you're going to wake up and you're not going to be sad anymore. You're not going to cry anymore. Now, certainly you might still have emotions here and there, but you're going to let them pass through and you're going to move forward and you're going to start focusing on taking care of Sue, taking care of you, taking care of the things that you deserve, taking care of yourself as well or better than you took care of that narcissist all those years. Okay. It's a good start. Figure out what you're passionate about, what you love, things like that. Okay. Tina Martin says, I have a ton of dirt on him. He's crazy to think he can just screw me over and leave his bed in my living room, embarrass me, etc. I hate him, but I love him. Don't do the revenge thing, Tina. It is not worth it. It's bad for you. It will make, if you do it, what will happen is he'll turn around and tell everybody, see, I told you she was crazy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. My personal opinion. Anyone have a different opinion, share them in the comments, and I'm happy to, you know, entertain those ideas. But I just, Tina, I don't want you to regret it. And I get the ton of dirt thing. And if you can, by all means, you know, if you have legal stuff, pass it on. If you can tell his dad something that will help him fix the problem, great. But do not, you know, I would definitely sell his stuff. But beyond that, I wouldn't do the revenge thing. I think you'll regret it, and I think it'll be bad for your soul. Alyssa says, thank you, Angie. I found out through all the therapy that I was the best victim for a narcissist. Yep, I have severe abandonment issues. My mom is moving to Vegas, and I realized my mom was emotionally abusing me my whole life. Alyssa, that is very insightful, and I'll tell you something. A lot of us are exactly that. A lot of us have been through different kinds of emotional abuse growing up, and a lot of us end up being with a narcissist as a result of it, because what happens is that they see us, they know that, you know, that they can get to us, because like I told you before, okay, this is a silly example, but here it goes. For anybody who ever watched that show, How I Met Your Mother, with Neil Patrick Harris and all those people, well, in the show, Neil Patrick Harris plays this character named Barney, who is a womanizer, which is, you know, I think we've talked before about this. Ironically, NPH is gay in real life, but he plays a great womanizer. And in the show, you know, he's always joking that he likes girls with daddy issues, you know, aka abandonment issues, and that's because they're easy to victimize. And so, you know, it's kind of funny in the show the way he goes about it, but the, you know, it's almost like he's a caricature of a womanizer because it's Neil Patrick Harris. But it's great. It's really helps you kind of see what it looks like from a comedic standpoint. But it's yeah. Jamie says, SD, I'm so nervous but excited too. Being a single broke mother is actually really good for insurance purposes only. Yeah, free everything. Right on, right on. Yeah. Alyssa Blackburn says, abusing me. Oh yeah, I got that. Okay. Shelly Thomas says, hang in there, Sue. Oh, Jeff says, I just ducked and dodged all her moves. I'm a bit of a ninja. Well, thank you. Thankfully. That's just so scary, Jeff. And, you know, with the kids being there too, I mean, gosh, she could have even hurt one of the kids. I'm sure you wouldn't have allowed that to happen, but it could have happened. You know, kids want to protect their daddy and stuff, you know, especially at those ages. Angie L says, I wanted to tell you that I've come to the point where I have emotionally disconnected from the ex. That's a beautiful thing, my friend. She says, I never think about him, and I know that if I ever get face-to-face since discard, I know I'd be able to stand up for myself, I think she means. And I'm really, Angie L, that is amazing, and I'm so proud of you for that, and I'm happy that you've made it to that point. I know it's not easy, but I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. Rose Hargrove says, I didn't realize other folks did stuff according to invisible rules so as not to get yelled at. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Jamie B thinks it's funny. Yeah. Okay. Sarah Lee and Jeff. Yeah, okay. Bonnie says, narc husband, no help at all with my elderly widowed mom who lives alone. She's disabled in many ways and is in need of hip surgery now. No help from a narc husband, a big zero. I'm so sorry, Bonnie. I know that must be exhausting. Jamie B says, good morning, Misty. Renee Goodell says, I've known the narc since middle school. I truly thought he wasn't like that. He told me he wasn't a nice guy and was full of rage when he gets mad. I didn't believe him, but I got doses of it. You know what? Maya Angelou always says, believe them when they tell you who they are. And she's so right. I mean, she was so right. Yeah, I totally feel you. Danielle Whittington says, good morning. Good morning, Danielle. She says, I listen to you all the time. You've helped me getting through my divorce of my narc. I feel my marriage was a mirage. That's an interesting way to put it, Danielle. And I can totally relate to that. You know, because they sold us a dream. They sold us a lie and we fell for it. And now, you know, so many of us are realizing, oh my gosh, this is what I'm really dealing with. And yeah, it does. It feels like it was all a mirage. It feels like it was all just pretend or an illusion. Yeah, that's very insightful, Danielle. I'm glad that I'm helping you get through that, and I'm happy that you're here today. Welcome back. Hair Changes Color says to Bonnie, I feel you on that. My mom has a narc husband, and I've had to pick up the slack my whole life through many diseases. Isn't that horrible? Yeah. Sonia Krasinski says, the hardest thing to figure out is how did I stay for so long? I feel like I've fallen for the biggest dupe. I feel like I've just barely been existing like The Walking Dead. I have experienced that same feeling. And Sonia, one of the things that I felt like was I thought, am I stupid? Well, I know I'm not stupid. I know that for sure. I've like documented proof of it, you know? So the thing is that it's hard to go. It's hard to leave, especially if you have kids and trying to figure out all the things and you're so freaking tired, you can just barely function. And that the idea of even getting up and going sometimes is so hard that you can't even entertain it. And then you worry that they're going to stalk you and they tell you things like, if you leave me, I'll make your life a living hell and stuff like this. And it's scary. And sometimes, you know, you think, well, maybe the wolf I know is better than the wolf I don't know. And then you're brainwashed in the same kind of way that, you know, kidnapping victims are sometimes, you know, Stockholm syndrome type stuff. So trauma bonding, you know, don't beat yourself up for that. I want you to look at my videos on trauma bonding. I think that will help. But the good news is you're not there now, and that's all that matters. You can't regret the past. You can only look forward and look today and look forward. Marianne Chalupnicki says, what is gray rocking? Okay, gray rocking is when you don't give them any emotion. So when they expect an emotional reaction from you, you don't give it to them. So you go like this, watch. Oh, really? That's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? So like if they say, you know, you're a disgusting person, I hate everything about you. Well, it's really interesting that you say that. You know, you don't give them your standard reaction. If they said something horrible to you, you would react by crying or screaming or yelling or whatever. Don't do that. Give them nothing. Because what they want from you is your emotion. And if you can avoid giving them your emotion, eventually they'll get bored and try a different tactic. The same thing works if you're, you know, getting the silent treatment and normally you would beg and plead them to come back and talk to you. Give them nothing. Don't respond. Be boring. Gray rock means to be boring and without emotion. Yeah, it works with these people. Edward Mockery says, Jeff, I didn't think I came here until I came here that there were other men like me. Yeah, Edward, and that's the thing. It's important. And not only, you know, men, women, and I don't know if you guys know this, but one of my admins is a lesbian, and she was telling me that, and I did some research and she was right. A lot of times gay and lesbian people are not allowed into battered women's shelters or shelters in general because like she was literally turned away from a shelter because they told her that women don't abuse women. And there are so many, and that's another example of an underserved population, you know, in the grand scheme of things, men and, you know, anybody in a non-traditional relationship and anybody that you wouldn't think would be abused, can be abused, and is, there are people, many people out there being abused who aren't even talking about it because maybe they're embarrassed or maybe they feel, you know, terrible about it, and they don't even think anybody else is going through it. And that's part of the reason I do what I do. Obviously, a lot of women get abused in this way, but it's not just women who are in straight heterosexual relationships. And it's also not just people in relationships at all. Sometimes it's, a narcissist parent abusing you until until they die. I mean, for your whole adult life even, and it's a lot. And it overwhelms you more than anyone can possibly understand. Yeah. Irish Indian is in the house and she says, "Happy Friday, tribe." Hey girl, hey, how you doing? Welcome back, honey. Sue Kessler says his physical abuse was such a betrayal as he knew. I was a child of domestic abuse by my father. It was like my husband used it to subdue me. Yeah, it is a betrayal. It's always a betrayal. And that's the thing. And that's an example of what I was talking about earlier, how they look for people with weaknesses that they can exploit. They look for daddy issues, so to speak, certainly. And in whatever form that fits for them. Like for our men, these women may have been looking for people they could walk on. Men they could walk all over. Yeah. Men who had maybe their own abandonment issues or whatever, and or men who were, highly committed to them and would do anything. Like Edward said, I was just in blind love for all those years, It's really terrible. Sarah Lee says, "Guardian Wolf, it's so great to see you're feeling positive today." I totally agree. Narc Free is here, says, "Hi, survivors and Angie." Hello, Narc Free. Welcome back. Sue Kessler says, "Thank you, Shelley." Christy Conroy says, "Good morning, all." Good morning, Christy. How are you? Narc Free says, "I hope you are well." Certainly, I am well today for the most part. Malta says, "Good morning to Narc Free." And Jihan says, "Heard Charlie Puth's attention. It probably talks about smear campaigns and hoovering. A bit of lyrics. You've been running around throwing dirt all on my name." Yep. You just want attention. You don't want my heart. I have not heard that song. I don't know that artist, but I'm old and is it a country song or what kind of song is it? Jeff Park says, "Edward, looking back, I'm shocked at how I was fooled, used, and seriously abused emotionally and physically." Yeah, I totally feel you, sir. And that's exactly what I'm saying. And the interesting thing, the horrible thing about narcissistic abuse is that it is so sneaky. It's so it's underhanded. It happens. It comes on slowly, and it takes over your whole life. And sometimes, like you said, you become shocked when you realize, oh my gosh, this is really happening. This has been happening to me. Yeah. It's hard to believe that you're in that position when you are. Jihan says, "You have to hear that song." Yeah, I'll definitely look it up, Jihan. Melissa McKenna is in the house. Hello, Melissa. How are you? She says, "Hello, all." SD says, "Good morning to everyone just joining us. Love seeing everyone here. I totally agree. Good morning, everybody. Happy to see you all." Sarah Lee says to Jeff Parks, "I think most of us can agree with that." Jamie B says, "Exactly, Sonia. I was so used to Gray rocking him at the end that I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I was definitely a zombie." True. And that's the thing that we all need to remember is that Gray rock does work, but you have to be very careful because sometimes it's easier to stay in your numb place, the numbness, because this way you're not hurting as much. And finding yourself, you find yourself unable to have emotions if you're not careful. So that's why, I have a video on using the Gray rock method safely. Actually, there's a whole I cannot talk, y'all. There's a whole Gray rock playlist you might want to check out. Sue Kessler says, "Angie, if it wasn't for you, I would have never known what I was dealing with." Thank you, Sue. That means a lot to me. That's exactly why I do what I do. Yeah. Narc Free says, "Angie and all, I find I had a period of good healing, but suddenly I'm sad and traumatized again." Well, tell us what's going on, Narc Free. And just so you know, it is common to go in have a roller coaster effect kind of when you're going through the end of a relationship like that. It's painful, but it's normal and you can get through it and you will. You will. Hair Changes Color says, "Angie, So true. My narc called me a narcissist in 2013, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know he knew what one was. I took psychology in college, but so I knew, but he didn't. Yep, isn't that right? Yep. Melissa McKenna says, I've been watching many of your videos, and this is the first time I caught a live one. Well, welcome, my friend. I'm so glad you're here, Melissa. Narc Free says, I was triggered by catching the sight of the narcissist after no contact near my area. Yeah, that certainly does become a trigger. When you're going through that, I want you to take the time to calibrate, so to speak. So what you might do is for the next few days, anytime you think about the narcissist, change your mind. Say, no, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to focus on what I do want, not what I don't want, and maybe stand up and move into a different room, go outside, go for a walk, try the four corners technique to distract yourself, where you look around the four corners of your screen or your phone or the wall clockwise for 2 minutes. So you follow, you just go corner to corner. That helps. Somebody else suggested in one of our morning chats, they said, pick a color and look around and find 2 or 3 things in the room that are that color. Anytime you feel nervous about going somewhere, or even when you're trying to distract yourself from a thought, like if I was to say pink, I could probably pick about like 75 different things in this room that were pink. And anyway, it helps to distract your mind, and then you can refocus and think about what you want. It is normal to feel triggered by the sight of the narcissist, for sure. Sue Kessler says, I almost took him back, but after I saw the videos, I extended the protection order for a year. Oh my gosh, Sue, thank goodness. I'm so glad, because you know what? You're going to be so much happier as you move forward. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on that. That's a big step, and it's strength. And everybody could use a little strength sometimes. Sarah Lee says, hi, Melissa, stay with us. I totally agree. We are definitely a strong supportive group here, and it's all because of you guys. I want you to know. Guardian Wolf says, yes, I know Raven's so-called father doesn't care. Feel you. Narc Free says, he was looking footloose and fancy free, so angry as he wrecked mine and my special needs child's life. Yeah, Narc Free, that's what they do. And you have to remember, he may be in the love bombing phase with someone else or whatever, but don't allow those encounters to affect you. Remember that he probably would want you to think he was footloose and fancy free while you were still tied down and dealing with all of this. Again, what you're going through is normal. It doesn't, in this situation, the situation is not normal, but for those of us who have gone through it, this is difficult. What I would, I told you what I would suggest: change your mind, and maybe avoid him if you can in the future, like by not being where he is. But it sounds like he was where you were, which means he was probably trying to make sure you saw him. So that's also a common narc thing to do. Jamie B says, that's right, where I am narc free. That's right, where I am narc free. I feel like I'll make some progress one week, and then the next week I feel like I've taken 10 steps back. See, but this is the thing, normal. It's normal to go through that roller coaster. And I want you guys to understand that. Some days you're going to feel super strong. Some days you're going to be like, oh my God, when is this going to end? It's normal. And so when you have those bad days, I want you to remind yourself tomorrow's going to be better. I want you to let yourself feel what you need to feel, and then I want you to start doing something to take care of yourself. Those bad days are the very best days to do the gratitudes and the things you love about yourself. And maybe instead of doing them once or twice that day, you do them 3 or 4 times that day. Remind yourself anytime you feel super sad, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for this. Come up with the 10 gratitudes. I love this about myself, I love that, and the 3 things you love about yourself. 10 things you're grateful for and 3 things you love about yourself every day, forever. Even when you're all the way healed, still do it, because it makes good things come into your life. Okay? Excuse me. I still do it. And I have a lot of good things in my life, and I really think that's partially why that is. Yeah. Including you guys. All right. The good things in my life. All right. Christy Conroy says, to Jihan, I thought the same thing when I heard that song. I'll have to look it up. Melissa McKenna says, hi, Sarah Lee. I will. These vids have been most helpful. I'm so glad to hear that. Travis Durham says, thank you, Angie. You are awesome. We are fortunate to have an awesome person such as yourself help us through our hurts. Well, thank you, Travis. That means a lot to me, and I'm really happy to have you here today as well. Thank you so much. Eris Bell Pagan is back. Good morning, Eris Bell. How are you? Happy to have you back. Malta McMurtry says, good morning to Arasbell. Narc Free says, my child disclosed heinous abuse after he left, and the fact still leaves me reeling. Oh, honey, I can relate to that one. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I hope that you, if this abuse was of the sexual nature or of a physical nature, that you do not feel afraid to tell the police about it and to file charges, because that's not acceptable. And, you know, it's very difficult because when you see things, beneficiary, that's the right word. Thank y'all. I was having a moment there. Thank you. But Narc Free, when you know that someone has abused your child, I mean, I don't know about you, my first instinct is to want to just physically kill that person, but that wouldn't really help because then you wouldn't be there for your child. So the best thing you could do, the next best thing, is to legally deal with it, press charges with the police, and let the state handle it, because this is unacceptable. And since the child disclosed the abuse, I'm guessing perhaps it was of a sexual nature or a painful physical nature. In either case, he needs to be convicted, in my opinion. Okay. Thank you for the clarification on the word. Melissa says they get worse. Yes, they do, ma'am. Yes, they do. Tina Martin says, oh, and Angie, what did you need to tell all of us? We're excited for your news. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Sarah. She says you're awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, here's the news. So I'm going to be doing a summit online starting September 7th through September 14th. It will be free. As long as you're watching live, you can watch it for free. I will publish a schedule. There will be lots of awesome experts for you. And so we'll have like Jillian, for example, will be one of our experts. You guys see her in the chat almost every day. And she will be answering questions about going through divorce with a narcissist, custody issues, things like that. We will also have David H. in one of our sessions for questions about like protection orders and anything related to police matters. And we will also have some other NARC experts, and we will have, we're working on beauty experts, we're working on a fashion expert or two, a finance expert, people that can help us with every aspect of healing and going through the actual getting out of the situation. So I'm really excited about it because I think it's going to offer so much great information, and because if you're able to attend live, it won't cost you anything at all except for your time. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. All right. And I will definitely keep you posted on the details, but just keep it in mind, beginning September 7th, we will have several extra sessions per day, live sessions where you'll be able to, hear these people talking and interact and ask questions. And if you have questions that you want me to, that you for sure want the answers to on stuff like this, you can send those to my business manager, Melina, at Melina, Mutria, Moutria. Here, let me just type that into the chat because it's a hard one to spell. At Gmail, Moutria, gmail.com. Okay, I typed her email into the chat, so you guys will have it. So if you want to send your questions to her, just put Summit Question at the top and send it to her. You can also copy me, AngieAtkinson@gmail. She's categorizing everything for me and building me a spreadsheet of questions so that anyone, so we can make sure we ask the experts everything that you need to know. So, and then I'm at the end of each session, we'll do a live Q&A as well. So keep that in mind. Woo! Okay. This little cold going around my house. It's crazy, little summer cold. All right. Let's see. Okay. That's the news. Tell me what you think. Jamie B sends, Sue Kessler says, good morning to Malta. Jamie B says, Christy, positive vibes, lots of love, and prayers sent your way. Very good. Melissa says, good luck, Christy. Malta says, Christy, sending you thoughts of positivity and success in court. Guardian Wolf says, neat, I have a Pinterest also. Me too. Hair Changes Color says to Christy C, winning vibes. Whoop, whoop, you got this. Yes. Jamie B also loves Pinterest. Well, you guys, I'm on Pinterest. Did you know? Come see me. Let's connect. Melissa McKenna says, I'm 6 weeks out of a horribly abusive relationship with a narcissist. Well, congratulations. How are you doing? Are you getting through it okay? Are you having the ups and the downs? Christy says, thank you all so much. Anxiety's high, but the vibes really help. Excuse me. I understand. Malta says, Sue, I forgot I already said good morning. I need coffee. Me too, honey. I only had one cup so far. I'm a little tired. More coffee. Exactly. See, we're on the same page. GMTA. Julia Richardson says, hey, Julia. She says, I think mentally I'm healing and I feel pretty good most of the time, but I'm a little stuck in life and some patterns keep repeating. Stuck. I totally understand how that feels. And it is, again, it's a process. So, um, yeah, it's a process, but knowing that you're in that situation, Julia, is a good place to start. Because when you recognize a problem, then you can change the situation. You can take action on the problem. So something that I feel like is important when we're going through this, like I said, is do something to get out, get away from your house, do something different, change up the layout of the furniture, buy a new thing for the wall, paint a new thing for the wall, even better. Um, maybe you should try going to one of those, and you don't have to be an artist to do this, by the way. One of those paint and sip nights, get a friend or a coworker or something and just go to a paint and sip night and have a glass of wine and paint a picture, put it up on your wall at home and make it your freedom thing. You know what I mean? It's fun. I think it's about $35 or $45 depending on where you live. And it's a 2 or 3 hour thing. And it's just totally, I love it. It's such a stress reliever and it's a lot of fun. Something to think about. You don't even have to drink wine. You could just drink soda or whatever you like, really. But I think I had a Mike's Hard Lemonade that night when I did it. I'm not that sophisticated with wine. Um, yeah. Okay. I've lost my place. Okay. Oh my gosh, I've missed so many comments. Let me scroll back up here. Okay, Melissa. Okay. Oh my gosh, where was I? AK is in the house, says aloha, aloha, all. Goodness. Okay. Boy, I missed a lot of comments. Okay. Melissa says her anxiety is way up as well. Melissa, I totally understand. Like I said, there are lots of things you can do. Start with loving yourself. Start with when you feel the anxiety moments, distract yourself, change your mind, tell yourself, nope, I now cancel that thought and I focus on this affirmation of my true divine desire, which is whatever you really want. Stand up and move away from where you're at, go into a different room of the house, go out on the front porch, take a walk around the block, get in your car, go to the store, go to a friend's house. Anything to change your environment helps. The four corners thing, the looking for something in the room that's a certain color thing helps. All of those things work. It's a process, Melissa. Don't beat yourself up for feeling anxious. Just recognize it and do what you can to change your mind. Sarah Lee says to Malta, coffee sounds good, doesn't it? Jamie B says 3 months for me and today's his birthday. Ooh, he always made a huge deal about his birthday, and for mine he'd be like, I paid your bills for the month. Ugh, again, that's your gift. What a jerk. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yep. I like that little finger you put up there for him too. Breon Garter says, yes, that was such a good video yesterday. I loved the question of the day. Thank you, Breon. I appreciate that. Hope Bradford says, you call them narcs, they immediately begin to call you a narc. Yep. I just say, write a list of all my narc character traits and I'll do the same for you. Let's take it to a shrink and let them decide. Smart. I like that, Hope. Mary Ann says, I feel used 5 years and I never met one person who knew what is wrong with me. One person who knew what is wrong with me. I introduced him to everyone. I deserve more. Yes, you do deserve more. And you do not have, you never met one person he knew. Very suspicious. And that might be a couple of things. I think number one, it might be that he doesn't know anybody. He doesn't have any friends because nobody likes people like him. The other thing might be that he was hiding you because you're not the only one. I hate that, but that's really what it could have been. Jeff Park says, hope, don't bother. I did that many times and they just lie on the list. Well, that's also an excellent point, my friend. Jamie B says, you're so right on, Hope. My ex would take whatever I said, and the next time we'd have an argument, he'd use my words or phrases against me. Couldn't think for himself to save his life. I experienced the same thing. Yeah, same words, same phrases. Yeah, yeah. It was like, don't you remember I just said this to you yesterday? How can you be? Come on. Oh, God. Yeah, yeah. Um, Sarah Lee says, Jamie B, strange, huh? My mind would always remind me about his birthday, even when he had taken off. But he'd never give a shit about anyone else's. Yeah, I experienced that same thing as well. It was always a big deal on his birthday, and my birthday was like, oh, is it your birthday? I ran experiments and everything, and yeah, it was sometimes completely forgotten. Jeff Park says, that is literally the thing I said to her to trigger her Monday night, and then she proceeded to beat me. Yeah, that's horrible. Melissa McKenna says, happy birthday, Jamie. Wait, is it Jamie's birthday today? Jamie? You didn't tell me that it was your birthday today? Do I need to sing to you right now? Oh, no, I see. His birthday. Okay, never mind. I got confused. Okay. Jamie says, yeah, they only care about themselves. Sarah Lee. Sonia says, Angie, you were so right about the narcs demeaning of me like a slow drip of poison. Yeah, exactly. Malta says, Jeff Parks, I'm so sorry to hear what you're going through. I'm sending positivity and support your way. Guardian Wolf says, insight. He texted and said, cat. That text isn't really about the cat, correct? I assume it is not about the cat. It's about sucking you back in, I'm guessing. Yeah. Jay maybe says, hey, Melissa, today's not my birthday, but my ex-narc's mine passed in May. Did I sing to you? Because if I didn't, I'll still sing to you. Body and Soul is back. Hey, Body and Soul, how you doing? She says, good morning, Angie. Good morning, good morning. Melissa McKenney says, oh, sorry, I guess my coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Melissa McKenna. Yeah, I feel you. We have those moments here, too. SM says, hi, everyone. Sick in bed today. Hey, SM, welcome back. Oh, and she says, and I have travel plans tomorrow. Hope all will be well by tomorrow. Oh, healing vibes to you, my friend. Everybody send healing vibes to SM. I want y'all to know my son had his immunizations for 8th grade yesterday, my middle son, and he is not feeling well today. But that, it's expected, and I'm sure he'll feel better soon. Hope Bradford says yes, and when you don't go for the Hoover, they get very nasty, bragging about treating you poorly. Yeah, I felt like if you're not easy on the eye, at least be nice. My ex had charm, but a face only a mother could love. I understand, girl. My ex was the same way. SD says the Guardian Wolf still think he's being vague on purpose to get a response to you. Yeah, I think that's actually exactly the truth. And I think SD that is very insightful that you said he's being vague on purpose to get a response from you. Like, what do you mean? Well, if he gets that much of a response from you, then he feels like he's done something. So don't give him anything. Yeah. Jamie says, Melissa, drink up, girl. Oh, yeah. All right. SD says, Guardian Wolf says, okay, SD. Yeah, I think SD's right. Dana Nicoletti, hey, Dana Nicoletti, how you doing? Dana Nicoletti says, I watched your videos on the new supply and why narcs marry so fast. It helped. I just keep telling myself that it's all an illusion and a magic show with his new wife. That's right. Exactly right. That's all it is. They don't change. Yeah. Stop the Chaos says, I agree with you, Angie, on your meetup group suggestion. I've joined a couple and it turns out I like to dance. That's awesome. I love that. See, you didn't even know. Jamie, I like to dance too, but I'm terrible at it. But I still do it. I just don't even care what anybody thinks. Just like when I sing you guys happy birthday, I'm no singer, but I'll do it anyway. Don't care. It's just fun. Jamie V says, sending you big hugs and positive vibes, SM. Rest up. Adventure awaits. Melissa McKenna says, I need a job, but I'm feeling so down on myself from having been isolated for the last 2.5 years. Yep, that's normal. So take baby steps, Melissa. Go a little bit, baby steps. Go out and do, have a drink with a couple friends, or go out and check out a meetup group, or do something small. Even if it's just, if you usually have coffee in your house, go sit on your front porch and have coffee and say hi to a neighbor or whatever. Or if you usually grocery shop at this store late at night so nobody sees you, then grocery shop at a different store early in the day. Or, tiny baby steps. Go, instead of going through the drive-through at McDonald's to get your coffee sometime, walk inside to get your coffee, tiny things. And then one step at a time. It's a process, because when you become isolated, you feel very, very alone in the world. And then when you go out in the world, you almost think the whole world knows that you're all by yourself, but they don't. And something that I like to do is when if you go out in the world and you look everybody that you walk past in the eye and you smile or nod and make some small gesture of recognition that there's another person over there in the world, they'll 99% of the time give you a smile or a nod back. I like to smile myself. And you will find that if you go do that at the grocery store or something, it will really change your whole mood. And if you go out in the world and you expect the best from people, you'll get it. Try it. Try it. Next time you go to the grocery store, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Yeah. Dana Nicoletti says, I think his remarrying so soon has affected me the most. Of course, it's very painful because you actually loved him and you actually cared about him. And when he remarries so soon, you imagine that he couldn't have possibly loved or cared about you in real life. And the truth is, like I've told you before, it's cell phone love. It's the same way we love our phones. Like when we get a brand new shiny phone, we're like, oh, brand new shiny phone. It's amazing. It does all these new things that I didn't have before, blah, blah, blah. After a year or so, we start to think, this phone's kind of getting slow. Maybe I should get a new one. And then we see the TV commercial with the new phone on the next model or whatever. And we're like, oh, I want a new phone. And then, within a month or less or 2 months or a year, we get a new phone. And then we hate that old phone. Stupid old phone, new phone, yay, because the new phone does what we want it to do. It does things that we need it to do. What a narcissist loves us for is what we do for them, what they need us to do. And so, the remarrying factor, it's not going to change his needs. It's not going to change his behavior. It's just temporary. If it is looking better, it's temporary and it will be short-lived. And he will go back to his old self. And sadly, the remarrying, the new wife will probably experience similar abuse to what you experienced. I mean, almost, it's almost a given that she will. Yeah. Because her cell phone's, features they're gonna wear out a year or so. You know what I mean? Renee Goodell says, Barbara, I took a pottery wheel class for 3 hours. Around other people, and I explored my creative side. Yeah. That's amazing. Anything like that, you don't even have to be good at it. You just have to have fun with it. And like when I went with Piper. You guys have seen Piper in a few of my videos. I went with her and we did this thing where we were like, I don't care. I'm an okay. I do okay at it, but I'm certainly not the best at it. But I just go in there and I'm like, yep, I'm just gonna have fun with it. And I just do it and I just don't even care. Piper is real worried about it. She wants it to be perfect and everything has to be right. And so I always feel kind of bad for her because she stresses about it too much and she shouldn't, because she's actually really good at it. She actually has taught it before and she's quite good at it. So but for me, I don't go in there and try to make the most amazing piece of art in the whole wide world. I just try to make a piece of art that is from me, that's my art. And so I don't care if it doesn't look like the one that the instructor did. I just like it if it looks good to me, if I made it. You know what I mean? It's about getting out the creativity. It's about feeling something. It's about having fun, putting the paint on the canvas, just an opinion. But that would be my only suggestion. If you do go and you do a painting class or a pottery class or anything like that, don't go in there to try to make a perfect thing. Go in there to relax and have fun and just love whatever it is that you create, no matter what. My suggestion. Okay. Remember, the narcissist is just not going to be there to criticize that crap for you. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Guardian Wolf says, I'm just grateful he's asking about Little Raven. I feel you, honey. I do. Bonnie says, when the narc stops hoovering, is that the discard? It can be, but it also can be that they're trying to figure out a different way. The discard really happens when they sometimes actually break up with you, and sometimes they just they give you the silent treatment, or they push you away from them mentally, emotionally, psychologically, whatever. But a lot of times the hoovering phase is within an unended relationship. So as the relationship continues, the discard and the hoovering phase become part of the cycle. So you've got your love bombing, you've got your, idealization and love bombing phases, and then you've got your devalue phase, then you've got your discard phase, then you've got your hoovering phase, then you've got your love bombing phase. It's like a process. So it can be the final discard, but it is not always the final discard, depending on the situation. Malta says to SM, good morning. I'm glad that you're able to join us, and I hope you will feel better soon. Yep. Me too. Sarah Lee says, SM, I'm sorry to hear that. Here's to a speedy recovery. Brianna says, yes, recreating your memories is so important. Erase all negative residual memories and feelings. I've been doing so recently. Yeah. And that's absolutely right. He isn't asking about Raven. Okay, I got you, Guardian Wolf. That makes more sense to me. Very good. Brian says, recreating your memories is so important. I totally agree with this. And Brian, I think that's really good that you are there. And that's the thing. It's not like you're trying to pretend it didn't happen. It's not that. It's that you're creating, recreating memories, creating new memories for yourself, new traditions, new ways, because the old way didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm really happy to hear you're doing that, Brian. I really am. All right, let's see here. Love says, I have to live with a narc family for 3 years because the narc husband has been fighting divorce for 4 years in just on spite, and no kids either. Exhausted all means of public and shelter housing not available. Oh, that's really difficult. If you're by yourself, do you not have a job? Because if you don't have kids, then you have a certain amount of freedom. Like, get a job and get a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't know where you live, and I know that changes things a little bit, but where I live, you could get a job in a 1-bedroom apartment pretty quickly if you wanted to, but you would have to then not be under their control, and I get that. But I suggest you get a job if you don't have a job. And if you do have a job, I suggest you start putting away money and start looking at, 1-bedroom apartments or small places that you can live. Just a thought. Because that sucks. I can't even imagine. SD says to Guardian Wolf, Raven is so beautiful. Right on. Hair Changes Color says, to stop the chaos, my narc used to say this all the time. It was infuriating. I forgive you. I was like, I didn't do anything. And it still makes her so upset. It's the worst gaslighting technique. Yeah, it's definitely a difficult one for sure. Yeah. And that is, see, because again, it makes you go, wait, I didn't do anything. What did I do? And then the narcissist, of course, wants to, I'm sure, tell you all about what you did. I forgive you for not, kissing my butt or whatever. I understand completely. That is very upsetting. Yeah. And it ruins the words, I forgive you, doesn't it? It ruins those words for you. Yeah. And that concept. Madeline Gutierrez, hey, Madeline, says no contact is the healthiest route you can take. When you forget why you were no contact, make a list of all the verbal, mental abuse, etc., and this will keep you focused on taking care of you. Madeline, that is the truth. I've been saying that forever, and I'm so glad to hear you say that, Madeline. Thank you for sharing that. Christy Conroy says they are such dorks. Ain't they, though? Jeff Parks says, the thing that helps me most, but also hurts a lot, I keep reassuring myself the woman I am so in love with only exists in the Matrix. She's not real, so it's mourning the death of your number one love. That is very insightful and very true. It's totally the truth. I totally agree with you. And I know that's painful, but when you can know that the person that you love doesn't exist, sometimes it's helpful because it helps you not try to fall back into that same old thing, Freedom Lee says, Jeff, I'm glad you have proof and are no contact. Angie, I'm having a hard time. Ex-narc is taking my daughter on vacation today, 18th birthday, for 2 weeks. Spent time with her briefly yesterday. My heart hurts. I understand, Freedom Lee, and I remember you telling me about this. I want you to not stress out about it. I want you to take a deep breath, celebrate that you have been an amazing mother for the last 18 years. And I want you to do something for yourself this next 2 weeks, whether you go, go somewhere or you do an at-home vacay. Do something for yourself. Do something nice for yourself that you never get to do. Um, Even if it's just, having a glass of wine and watching a movie every now and then, or whatever makes you happy. Do something that makes you happy, Freedom Lee. Yeah. Guardian Wolf says to Jay Meeby says to Guardian Wolf, I didn't realize you were the one from Span with the beautiful new baby. Oh yeah, that makes sense now. Okay. Aw, yes, beautiful. Congrats, she is perfection. I totally agree. And it just shows how soulless he is to not even care. And I'm going to tell you something, Guardian Wolf. It's a secret blessing. If he doesn't want to co-parent, don't make him, because you and your daughter will be so much better without him, for sure. Yeah. Cindy Minton says, my first divorce date is tomorrow. Okay, everybody, strength and love to Cindy for her positive outcome tomorrow in court. Freedom Lee says, with the psychopath scary. Yep, absolutely. Guardian Wolf says, SD, if her so-called father asks about her, what do I do? That's a good question. I think that you can tell her what you need to tell her. Did you put his name on the birth certificate? I'm guessing you may have, but because you may need child support. But yeah, I would just stay focused on her. If he asks about her, be as vague as you can. Be prepared that he may want to see her, but also understand that he may fade away very quickly if he chooses to see her, because babies are cute, but they're hard work. Don't let her be taken by him without you there. Don't, if he wants to see her, make him see her at your house, unless there's something else in place by the court. But I would not leave him alone with her, and your excuse can be that you're breastfeeding. I don't know if you are, but it's a good excuse for a child not to be taken far from a mother for very long. And it is legit. It's healthy and all that too, but I'm not trying to make you breastfeed. I'm just saying that's a good excuse for not letting him take her. Yeah. Okay. You guys, I'm gonna have to wrap up here. It's almost 11 o'clock and I've got a call coming. And I know we went a little long today, and I hope that was okay with you guys. But I am going to have to wrap up for now. Please continue to leave comments in the chat as long as it stays open. And yeah, I will look at that after my next call. Sophie wants to pop over here and say hello really quick. She just came in. Stick your head in there and say hi, girl. Quickly and quietly. There you go. Okay, she said hello. All right, that's all I've got for you today. I will see you guys. Remember, I won't be here tomorrow or Sunday with a live stream, but I will be back on Monday, and there will be videos posted for you tomorrow and Sunday as well, okay? So keep that in mind, and I will see you guys very soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Chin up. Hugs and love to all of you. Bye-bye.